Happy Monday. Hope you all had a good Easter weekend. I'm here to do the readings for the week. Started with the tarot already. Now we're doing the Elder Futhark runes. And I am going to use my rose quartz runes again. So let's get into it. I'm going to dump them out, pick 3 without looking, and then go into what they mean, okay? Okay. First rune is Dagaz. This is the rune for daylight. It's actually the moment of twilight when light and dark meet. Thus represents synthesizing of opposites, of unconscious and conscious, of dark and light, of messy and organized. Symbolizes the seeker. Anyone and everyone that is searching for the truth, searching to illuminate their own unconsciousness. It indicates that we are in a time of awakening, especially if you have come to a video like this. You are coming to know yourself. You are synthesizing the opposite hemispheres of your brain. The motion that's associated with this rune is this torsional field of energy that continues to grow and cycle and move. It has this this momentum. Once you start it, you can't stop it. The next rune is Amsus. This rune represents Odin. It represents his ravens, Hunin and Munin. It represents the power of language, of words, and how they're actually spells. It represents the consciousness and everything that that entails. Typically, in a reading, it would represent, especially bright, not murky, it represents a general ability and aptitude to use words to convey meaning, to convince people, to rally them to a cause, or to manipulate and trick. It's the ability to inspire people. There's definitely a sense this week of deception and deceit and negative spells being used. So I would beware of the media that you consume. Be especially discerning. But all in all, this is a very positive energy on Zeus. especially coming right after Dagaz. Awakening, synthesization of opposites, intuition, wisdom, knowledge, ability with words. Oh yes, expect the unexpected. Wisdom and knowledge can come from surprising and really unexpected places. And then the last rune, Nothus. And it was murky, so that sucks. The outcome of this week, potentially, is that we may be hit with some hard situations, some uncomfortable situations, something that will make us discover our need. That's what Nothus is need, necessity, the need fire. The upside of this is that dynamic tension and hardship makes us realize what's really important. It also causes us to have original thought, which is what Answers is about, and create new things to solve problems, right? It ignites our inventiveness. With it coming out murky, however, it could be that there may be some of you that are avoiding this kind of tension, or avoiding all hardship, like staying in comfort zones and not seeking to widen your horizons, or avoiding hardship by staying in comfort. I already said it, really. It could also be that there's an attitude of giving up too soon, or not acknowledging the resources that you have inherently within you. So I would say this. Once this process begins of Dagaz, like I was saying, that torsional field of energy, the beginning of awakening, of igniting something in your brain and your spirit, once that starts, it can't be stopped. And I just got chills. Once you receive divine inspiration, you're always free to say no. You're always free to say, no, I don't want that for myself. But once you begin seeing, you can never unsee what you've seen. Once you begin understanding, there's no going back. You can't go back to sleep. So, embrace what comes for you. Embrace the lessons that are being put in front of you. Tackle them mercilessly. Don't be afraid of discomfort or tension. Use that tension. Use that friction. The image for Nothus is two sticks. It's two sticks. It's one and another one that's crossing it, and the friction of those two sticks will eventually ignite into a fire. We have way easier ways of doing it now, but If we had never been cold in the first place, we would have never thought to make a fire. Which reminds me of the myth of Prometheus. And I mean, every culture around the world has their own versions. But that's an example of wisdom coming from a surprising place. That's funny. Anyway, look for messages this week, or this, look for messages this week from unexpected places. Especially surprising places. Don't be afraid of what comes. Continue to access, continue to access your higher self. Continue to do that work. And, know that you definitely have the resources within you to accomplish what you put your mind to. Just, it might take a couple of tries. You might have to go a couple of different routes. I laughed because that will only help with the wisdom aspect. Oh, another thing. This rune, Ansu's, one of the concepts behind it is that it is Odin, yes, but it is our ancestral, sovereign self. A sovereign ancestral being. And it doesn't ask you to worship this being as a god. It asks you to become it, to embrace it, to use it as a model for your own growth. An archetype to follow. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. I always think it does. But, it might be important or helpful, really, to study the Joseph Campbell's Journey of the Hero. Sorry, words today. That might be helpful. 'Cause in that Journey of the Hero, right? Oh, I'm gonna butcher it, but you're called, right? You're called to leave, to go on this adventure, to save the princess, say. It's a common trope, right? You can refuse the call, you can say no, but you'll be called again. So then you go on the journey. You meet the goddess. You get something to help you with your journey. You meet temptation. You face the demon, the dragon. You're plunged into an underworld journey. And by the time you come back up, you've faced your demons. You've met not another person that's outside of you, but an aspect of yourself that needed to be brought to the surface. You bring these things to the surface. You're redeemed by a father figure. This is an inner masculine part of yourself. It's not an external thing at all. And the journey renews and goes again. You get the gold, the prize. Oftentimes it's unification with the princess, or some feminine archetype. And this is not symbolizing an exterior marriage, it's symbolizing an internal marriage of two parts of yourself, which is what Dagaz is all about. So anyway, look into that a little bit, study that a little bit. And the reason why I brought that up is because Odin sacrificing himself on Yggdrasil, he sacrifices himself to himself. That is him embarking on the shamanic journey into the underworld to gain the knowledge of the runes, to bring them back for mankind, and for himself, obviously, but for mankind. We collectively are in a bit of a dark night of the soul, you could say, and this kind of knowledge and wisdom is imperative to understand. The more we do that internal work of the sacrifice and the plunge into the underworld, the better prepared we'll be for facing what's going on outside of us. So, I hope that made sense. I hope that was a good reading for you. And if you're looking for a personal reading, something a little bit more specific to what you might be going through, drop me an email and I will be happy to help. So, have a good week. And look for my new moon readings coming out this week too. Okay, peace.